One of the most useful things about Sketchup is cutting holes and removing material in objects that you don't want to be there. So, for example, if I just create a very simple shape, so rectangle extruded, this block here might be exactly what I want, but I might want a hole through the middle of it. So, for example, if I just draw on the face here, take this and click, I can just push this through, push and pull. I can orbit to the other side. I can take it so it says on face, and you can see there the text pops up saying on face. Click, and it's cut all the way through. I can do it again here on the top, so draw a circle, and this one I can pull up, draw another circle, and this one I pull down. If I click over there, click on face, you'll see that it's almost done it. Now what's happened there is that because it goes down to through the wall, it's cutting bits, but it's not fully cutting it out. That's very simple. I can just click on that section there, press delete, and we now have the whole bit goes cut there. If I was to do a different one, so say here, where it's not going to intersect with the wall at all, and pull down, because it's on face, it cuts through, so that's very simple to do. Now if I was to take this one and go all the way through the object, go on face the bottom, what we see is that it's cut all the way through and moved it from the top. But because it's gone to the other side of it, we've created new material. So it's added a column in there and then cut out the bottom. And if I just select that tube that's been created, press delete, then what we see is that's not really intersected with that properly, and it's kind of halfway there. So I'm going to show you a way to do more advanced cuts. So just undid all of that. So one thing you can do is you can create an object, so in this case it can be a pillar, and I want to be able to cut all the way through this object. So I select all of that, right click, make component. I'm going to call this pillar. You could just call it, I don't know, object 1, but either way. Then we have move command. So moves can be difficult, but the more you use them, the easier it gets. So I'm going to click move and move it so that it's going all the way through. Hasn't quite gone all the way through, so just click and drag it again and move it this way a bit. So now we see that there is this shape we've created and this component. Select everything, right click, Intercept Faces with model. What that does is it kind of cut everything. So if I select that and then delete it, you'll see it's cut where the faces met. So I can click on that and click delete, click on that and click delete, click on that and click delete, and click on that and click delete. So we now have cut a hole all the way through there, but you'll see that it's got the two hollow areas. So there's many ways you can do this. One way, which is just to choose an endpoint and then just go down and find an area which is below it, and you are healing the marks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back when that's done. So a more advanced cut could be, say, creating a ruined wall. So here we have a block, and I'm going to turn this into a ruined wall. What I do is, with the pen tool, take on the endpoint here, just go out and along the green axis there, and once again along the red. So what I've done, if you go into orbit, you can see, is create a line which goes out. So I'll take the eraser tool and slowly remove those and take the front view. I know that that point there is forward of the wall. So I'm going to take this up Now, so again, we've created this thing there. Camera, views, front. So if I take the pen tool and just do a kind of thing like that, because I start on that point there, it's carried forward. So camera, standard views, front. So all we've got to do now is make sure that the endpoints are joined up and bigger than the wall. So there we see something. Take the extrusion tool, and rather than running it through the model, although doing it this way is a good way to find out if it will actually cut, just go the other way. So like that. Select everything on there, right click, make components, and we can call this wall or whatever you like. Okay. Once again, select that, move it along the green axis, and we have now gone through. So select everything, Intercept Faces, select top and delete. So there we have our model cut in two. Actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy. So select everything, edit, copy, edit, paste. I'm going to paste it just there. And the reason why I'm doing this is you'll see in a second. So top half here, I can just select that. I can delete bits I don't want. And then I can take a pen and I can join up the various pieces. Now I won't go through everything, but that is just finishing that off into something. That's kind of cool. Then I could also just take this, select everything, bucket, and the texture is going to be, let's have a look, bricks and cladding. Let's take those bricks and just drop it on. So if I had finished healing the whole thing, it would turn to what looks like a bit of a ruined wall. Now, I kept this one on the side, separate for a reason. I'm going to, sorry, let's colour in the bottom half. And why not, let's do the underside. So we have half a ruined wall. If I was to then take the top bit, and I was going to make this into translucent, oops, I select that kind of glass, drop it in. I have a glass top to my area. Although in this case you're still seeing those bits which are cut out. So what I could do is a few different things. I can delete, say, this line, so it takes the top off. Then I could go through and heal this, which could take time. Or alternatively, what I could do, I'll just do a bit more on this, just so we've got a bit more done. But I won't bother doing the whole thing. So we've got a base layer. Alternatively, what I could do is I could delete this part of the wall completely, and maybe carry on healing a little bit more. Should I finish it? No. But you get the idea, it goes along, and maybe I can put this line back in. So that's all healed. Select everything, paint bucket, drop. So we have a solid glass section. Okay. Take this, move it, move tool, pick a point, which is that end point, pick this point, which is that end point, drop it, and you'll see that we have that. However, you'll have seen, if I redo, that by creating that healed section with the brick on, and this with the translucent on, when you move it, so edit, yeah, you get translucent, which is not very good. So if I just undo, and I go back and I delete these sections, which takes me a little bit of time, and make sure I delete the right thing. Okay, there we are. So now it's a sort of hollow cap. If I take this and I move that from this endpoint to this endpoint, you can now see that we can see the brickwork underneath rather than being covered up. So it's an interesting quirk, because you would think that a translucent layer on top of a brick layer would let you see bricks, but actually if you make them together you only see translucent because that's the top layer. And that's not a very pretty way of doing it. You could have like swirls, you can do all kinds of crazy designs, but that is what you can do. So if you think about cutting objects, you can do simple things with push-pull, you can do complex things with making a shape, intersecting it, and deleting it. So that is cutting.